Yeah, let's do in English.
Very good. Hello, everyone. Well, I hope you can watch this interview of today. I'm going to be interviewing my great friend and amazing coach, sex coach, Rosy Santamaria. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for inviting me.
This is the first interview that I'm going to be doing in the same place, so it's a new thing for me as well. I hope everyone can enjoy this space. We're going to be talking today about the sacral chakra, okay? And how can we enlighten ourselves from it? What do we have to learn from it? And what do we have to overcome? What do we have to heal from our sacral chakra, right?
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much for being here. I can tell you something a little bit about Rosie. She's a sex coach. She's been specializing a lot in this area the last 5 years maybe. And she's been doing a path in tantric, I don't know how you even call it.
It's Tantra. Yeah, it's Tantra. It's a sort of way of meditating, but it's called Tantra.
All right.
Yeah.
And of course you do as well Reiki, right?
Yes.
So this can be like a very interesting
It's a mixture, yeah. Because it's all about energy. So whatever is energy, then it has my attention.
Great. Yeah. All right, we're gonna start talking then about I love her so much. Please, everyone that watch this need to know that she's my great friend, one of my best friends in the world, maybe my best friend right now. It's true. And we're working together in this amazing place that we built, the both of us. We have like a common mission, probably, no?
We do.
Yeah, we do, right? So this is like a very special interview for me today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.
So let's start. I think that maybe to begin we should be talking first about the sacral chakra. Like first let's talk what is this? What are we talking about when we're talking about the sacral chakra? What is going on in that area?
It's a feminine chakra. It's located on the on our bellies, on the belly, and it's the womb. So for women it's the womb, but also it's like as energy is about it doesn't have genders, right? So this chakra also is in every man as well, but it's a watery feminine energy, and it's that energy that when we the fertility, the sensuality, the energy of flowing, being, relaxing, also pleasure. So it's a lot of things comes in this chakra, because also it's like connecting and giving, and that sort of like feminine watery energy that we have, taking care, and also it's because of the womb is when we bring life as well. So it's the space for taking care of life and sacred things. Also that's why also is connected to sensuality as well, because through it as well we can bring life to this world.
This is interesting because I thought before knowing about the chakras that the sacral chakra was related to fire, because when we think about our sexuality, we just think about sex. It's like is sex on a side, or it is like fertility on the other, but it's like two different worlds that we usually never relate them. We usually never do. So what do you think about this?
It's the way we grew up, because when we are children, the way they taught us about fertility and becoming parents, it's a story and it's not linked to sex and sexuality. Sex was sort of a taboo. So we make the link later, but it's like one thing is the sensuality and the fertility and all the feminine power, and the other thing is being sexual. So that became a bit of dark and taboo, because we were not exposed to it. So Tantra brings to the world sort of like a way of connecting with your body, with your sacred sensuality and sexuality, meditation, feminine and masculine energy, and then from that sharing, right, you go to your internal self, and also to love yourself. So you have to be present and loving yourself to share with another one, and that is what it brings, you know, like that feminine energy that is so caring, and it's so like cares for life. So when you care, when you are in your womb bringing life, you have to care for yourself and others.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but what about men? They usually connect with their virility, you know,
yeah.
and their masculine side is like more powerful, active, and of course we know the story that they're always thinking about sex. Maybe this is not true, but let's say like usually we consider that men are very connected to their sexual parts.
Yes.
But when you talk about feminine, I don't know how people are gonna relate to this. Can you explain what happens in Tantra with men?
Yes. So every like the basic Tantra sharings or meditations, which is Shiva and Shakti, meaning Shiva is the masculine energy and Shakti the feminine energy. Normally, yes, the meditations, the man brings energy to the woman from his genitals. So it's like the sexual force that and the presence that they have, they give it to us. And then the way the woman we receive it and we give from the heart. So the connection, the flow of the energy comes from Shiva to Shakti. So they give us energy to our womb, and then we bring back the energy from our hearts. So for men, so what we give as a Shakti, so as a feminine energy to Shiva, is that we connect them, we help them with energy from the heart, his
like
energy from connecting his sex to the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And they give us the contrary. We connect from the heart,
yes.
but they activate our sexual
Mm-hmm.
desire. So when the heart and our sex is connected, is when we totally open to a person, to a man, or to a person, because this doesn't have any gender either. So the energies, it can be between gay couples and lesbian couples, or any kind of interaction between two people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when I say feminine and masculine, I'm talking about energies and not genders, to be clear about this.
This is beautiful. What you're saying is like making love is sacred in another
Yes.
level.
Yes.
So this is like also revolutionary for the traditional way of seeing sex as a sharing of our flesh, you know, and the desire and like having the opportunity to fulfill your pleasure and your needs. But what you're saying is that maybe through sex, people can take this to a very connection in a very high level.
Yes.
Because this is from soul to soul, right? This is like
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But
when you
so
let
we take
yourself do this, of course.
But don't take it so seriously. I mean,
Uh-huh.
sometimes connection from soul to soul can be fun,
Mm-hmm.
because that's actually also like the energy of this chakra is also the energy of the dancer, of the teaser, of the seduction. So it's an energy that can be fun. So sometimes when we put boxes into sex,
Mm-hmm.
that is very animalistic or super romantic, and actually when we are on a path of discovery and healing with someone, we can open to everything and not be fixing in a box, because actually it's healing, that you can be nurturing and loving and romantic in a moment, but also you can share with your partner also the craziness and the adventure and and the most naughty part of yourself, or maybe sometimes even the kinky one. So you don't know exactly, and that also is sacred when the intentions are good. So when the intention between us is between the couples is like, I think every sharing needs an intention. So if the intention is, I want to feel free in this sharing, and for feeling free, I need you to love me while I'm crazy. I want to, I don't know, dance naked and jump under the bed, and that's what will make me feel free. And I want to share this with you. So that is also very sacred. It's not only that when we think about tantric sex, it's a meditation. It can be very slow and breathing and very connected sex. But for me, sacred is everything that brings intention, presence, love, and freedom.
Okay, intention, presence, love, and freedom. I think we should like go through that path of questions. Let's talk about intention first. When you were talking about this, I was thinking, what happens when the people that are sharing that moment don't share the same intentions? What do you think it happens in that sexual encounter?
Well, one of them is gonna be hurt, or it's gonna feel empty after the experience.
Yes, many people say this, right? Empty
yeah,
sex.
I felt empty, and that feeling, where it comes from, it's because what I thought that it would be our sharing, it's my intention is not the same as yours. So in this sense about intentions, there is the will of consent. So the will of consent for me is very important when we are setting intentions in a sharing, because it's when I'm touching you, am I touching you because the way you want to be touched, or am I touching you a way that gives me pleasure only? So in this sense, then am I a giver or I'm taking? So I'm just using you for my pleasure, or I'm giving you. And then that's a part of the will, and the other part of the will of consent is I'm allowing. So when I feel I allow, then I let you be, and I just let you, interact with me. Maybe in a moment I'm feeling pleasure, maybe also it's for yourself. But when it's the real equilibrium, is when I'm giving, receiving from a place that I give you what I think is gonna be the way you like it, the way you love it, the way you're gonna enjoy it. Because somehow we are in this world for service. So when I can be a giver and a serving to you, so I'm opening the space for you to be yourself and here with me, because I'm doing it the way you like it, and then you will do the same for me.
Yeah, this maybe is the second thing that you said, is presence.
Yeah.
Probably you have to be very, very present at that sexual intercourse or moment, like the moment that you're sharing with that person, to really understand which are the needs that that person has at that specific moment, and not take for granted that this is another
encounter.
Exactly. This is one more. Just one more.
Yeah, we are changing. So even maybe something I used to like 5 years ago, and it was my favorite thing, now evolved, and then I have another things that I like better. So with presence, you can understand your moment. Presence brings you to the now. So, and this is very powerful, because if you take reference from past, then you're missing out this person that maybe today is different, is feeling different, and is changing.
Maybe it's a new person as well.
Maybe it's a new person. So that kind of things is presence brings you to this moment. Don't take reference from the past, doesn't project to the future, and it's the power mostly of Shiva. So it's the masculine energy that has this power of the presence and the focus on now and on you, for example. So when we are interacting with someone and then we start thinking of other stuff, and that happens a lot. I help a lot women in this process. How many times, and even in movies, right, that women are in a family life and they are having sex with their partners, and then they're thinking that they need to take the children to the doctor tomorrow. Oh my God, it's like you are in the middle of having fun, and why we do this, And so I'm including myself in the past, like, what happened with my presence? Why I cannot just be here and take care of this tomorrow or later on, because I'm sharing with my partner in a special moment, and my mind goes away, so the present is lost.
It's like automatic, right? It's like giving it for granted again. It's like you just go there, do this thing, and then get out.
Well, sometimes is when that happened to me, it's also because also him is not fully present. Because if someone is very present, it's like, you are not here. Sorry.
Hello. Where are you?
It's gonna bring you back. It's like, I don't wanna share with you. If you have your mind in other, do you need to talk? And then you can change the dynamics, because in sex sometimes when we do this, it's because we are feeling some vulnerability and we don't wanna connect with it.
Wow. So, what is this about?
It's like, I'd rather think about other stuff, because actually I don't want to be here. This is too much for me right now, so I don't want, maybe imagine that this is happening after you had a fight and you are having a making up sex, like, you are doing it after a fight you have with your partner, but instead of finally we're having fun, and maybe what you want to do is to cry in the middle of the sex, and like, oh no, I don't want to cry, right? Because that already we solved it.
But it's beautiful when that happens.
Yeah, for sure. But
it's beautiful.
But if you don't want to ruin the happy moment, because actually we overrate sex that always have to be super fun and happy. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when that kind of situation happens between partners, so you are in that moment, maybe you feel vulnerable, like, oh well, you want to cry because we are making out again, and I'm feeling relieved, and I suffered before, and now I'm here with you, and that kind of stuff. So that's not super fun. It's sentimental.
It sounds more like something that would happen to a girl, but what happens to guys? When they feel vulnerable.
Yeah.
In the middle of sex. What do you think about that?
So they might enter into the mechanics, right? So if they don't wanna show themselves and open, because sometimes also. It happens that the woman opens more, and that is kind of frightening. So they prefer not to open a bit, because they think, whoa, if she's open like that, and I'm already like opening a little bit. Imagine if I totally open.
We're talking about love now.
Yeah, we're open in love, in sex, in fantasies, in whatever, because. What happens is like in the timings, I think, for telling, when I have a partner that we share feelings, the fantasies and also love and stuff, or feelings from men, in my experience, it's expressing through time and more slowly. When there is not such an attachment, when I have a really good sex partner, but he's not in a relationship with me, so then we are going to talk about polyamor. So it's more freedom, because it's like a friend. So he can just tell me, deep down what his fantasies is about, and he's not so worried that he's going to hurt my feelings, because when there is love, then if I have a fantasy that maybe it will hurt your feelings because you don't share my ideas, then maybe I keep it for myself, because I don't want to hurt you. I love you, right?
Well, so what I've seen when you're saying this, let's talk about couples for an instance. When couples don't share their sexual fantasies, what I usually see is that infidelity ends up being a part of the structure. It's like part of the way that they get. Usually women as well, of course.
Yeah.
It's like bringing infidelity to your sexual life is a way to fulfill your fantasies when you are in a relationship, in a loving relationship, family or not. Okay, it could be a loving couple. You wouldn't even have to have kids. You can go to prostitutes or to any other girl and fulfill your fantasies, because you don't want to share it with your loving couple. maybe it has to do with what you're saying right now. Maybe they don't want to hurt their couple's feelings. So
yeah, because maybe that, like also it's about presence. Maybe they assume because I met you this way through years, or maybe you are a conservative person. So if deep down my fantasies go a little bit wild, I know maybe I won't be able to share it with you. So why I will open myself to you? Because then I will be judged, and I don't want that, right? So then, if you don't feel that freedom with your partner to be fully accepted and free to speak out your mind, and you might feel judged, not say let's do it, no, at least to talk about it.
mm-hmm.
Because sometimes when someone comes with what they truly are, or what they truly want, or what they truly need, or sometimes just is a dream they need to share, and maybe they will never do it. Like, I want to jump in a parachute. Yeah, but maybe when you are going there to the airplane, you're like, no. At the end, I don't. But I was dreaming about it, So that thing, just to share, is already a space, a safe space, and that doesn't happen, and that's why then it's the secrecy and the going on the side, because I cannot say what I need.
You suggest then this should be shared.
The fantasies is a dangerous road, but for brave hearts, that if you have this no judgment and complicity with your partner, it should be a space, a safe space to say, you know what, I would like in my life to experience this. Maybe we cannot, do it. Being with you, we cannot do it together, but at least I want you to know, because in that sense, then you honor yourself, you honor what you are, and then you let the other one see you.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've heard through you that maybe we're like, okay, we're talking about fantasies right now. I think this is a beautiful subject because there's so much we can talk about this.
Yeah.
But it's like there's the fantasies that each one of us has, and then there is like the people that are in conservative couples, and there is all this sexual movement that I heard through you, like all the things that you end up knowing that exist, that are happening to people that are open. You said like polyamor, you just mentioned this right now. Maybe let's talk about this.
Polyamor.
Yeah, let's talk about this space that is opening, and we'll go there.
So there was a good lover friend of mine that he recommended a book, Ethical Slut, and I because when we started to be lovers, he understood I was open to experience new things in my life. So then in this book, it was the first one of understanding what is the polyamor idea. Polyamor idea is a very responsible way to open a relationship. So there is different kinds, but maybe you have a main partner, and then between these two people, you guys have an agreement, right? So you have a consent agreement that can be always changed and reviewed, but it's like, okay, you are free, for example, we are both free to experience with other people in certain way. It could be just flirting, so we can just flirt freely, and maybe that, so there's the level. So then some people is just flirt and kiss, we can do it together, or then it's like, yeah, you can have sex with other people, but that other people needs to know. And there are some like polyamor groups that, well, I have 3-4 partners, can be men, women, and they know all about each other. So they understand that I'm sharing myself sexually with these people, and we actually send respect and love to each of them, because everybody is sharing energy, even that they don't know each other, and sometimes they also want to know between them. So so that kind of dynamics is what's happening right now with a lot of people that are on their late 20s and 30s. They are not interested of having an exclusive relationship or having children yet. So they want to experience, but they also want to be connected. Not just to have random sex with someone and then change to the other one, because they understood certain depth in relationship is good for your growing. So if they want variety, because when each person, we are like chemicals, we combine with a person, that person brings something out of you different than the other one sometimes. So it's also with friends. There are friends that you just want to sit and chat, and the other friends that you want to just go party with them. So that kind of things also happen in sex and in sexuality. So then we are open to different partners, and they all know about each other. And if you take a new partner, you will inform to everybody. So it's an integrity code. The integrity code in this polyamorous relationship is like your sharing will never hurt anyone. So when you take a partner or do something, you make sure that you are making agreements with everybody, that everybody will be so happy for you to express yourself the way you want it. And if you, in a moment, you want to do something that someone is going to get hurt, then you need to talk about it. Then you need to change your agreements.
Do you think this requires a certain level of maturity, of consciousness? What do you think someone needs? Just, we're talking about the individual. Then we're going to talk about the couple. Because it's different. Well, you're alone and you decide to open up, this way, as you're saying it, with integrity.
Yes.
What do you think is needed for someone to jump to that life?
Well, in my case, and in what I experience for the other people, is like you understand that you are an individual soul and you cannot own anyone. So nobody is your property, and everybody has free will. The free will, when you actually have unconditional love for someone, you respect that person so much that you can allow that person just to be. And then you love yourself so much that also you understand that you are enough, and you are not going to be abandoned in the next second that someone do whatever they want to do. Because what happens here is that a lot of fear and self-worth is a challenge in this sense. So it's about me at the end. So how I feel worthy, and how much I love myself, and how I feel secure with my choices. So if I decide to take a main partner and we live this life, if the second that he's gonna share with a new person, he's gonna leave me and it's over, that kind of stuff, right? But if that happens as well, that's life. So things like this happens, you are in a monogamous relationship, polyamorous relationship. So the things that are meant to finish, they're gonna finish no matter what. But it's true that in a polyamorous relationship, you are more challenged because you need to actually respect the other people's free will and your own as well.
What do you think of this, what you're saying, but in the traditional couples that decide the monogamous way of living? What do you think are the challenges for them when they are having all these feelings, or maybe open it up, or starting talking about this as an option? What do you think, which are the challenges for a couple?
Well, right, I was in a couple, a monogamous couple, for 17 years. So the challenge is that in a monogamous couple, if you have been in this setup for many years, when you express, because you are changing through time, so when you express your new needs, or while you are evolving, sometimes the two of them are evolving differently. So when you express, it's like, who are you? After 8 years we are together, then I said one day, you know what, I have this fantasy, like, who are you? I don't know you anymore. So that kind of things can happen, right? Or were you always like this? Were you hiding from me? Mm-hmm. I don't know, but maybe sometimes it's yes. It took me 8 years to talk about this, and then if you take things like all personal, then it will never be in a good space, because it's like, oh, you were hiding from me. No, you have to see it in another way, like, okay, now she's trusting me more, and she's allowing me to see more, or he's allowing me to see more of himself, which is a gift, even that can be a challenge. That doesn't mean that everything that comes out, or when we are more intimate, because this is a couple with many years, there is a lot of intimacy from the heart. And they know each other because they have lived together. They know, their favorite thing, their favorite song, what they don't like. So you know that person so much. There's a lot of intimacy.
When it's a loving couple, because sometimes maybe there's like they're together but nothing is happening there. But I think you're talking about a loving couple. Yes.
When they're together, when they're together, just because
because they share the house.
They share the house, and there's another reasons, like they put children like a reason, or economical reasons. Then it doesn't matter anymore.
And they're like friends.
That's if they do whatever they do with their lives, because actually they are not into each other. So they cannot actually even hurt their feelings if they are not into each other. But they can also, because normally the man wants the woman as her property. I want to do whatever I want to do, and you're my property. You stay here. I don't want you so much, but anyway, you are.
I don't want to share you.
I don't want to share with anyone. So that kind of situations, if it, it's very common. I help the women in general to empower themselves. So like try to connect with your partner again, because this is what you have and you're choosing for your day, and try to enjoy it. And in a way,
happy.
Right? And if you can't, and you are not able to connect, or you feel, I don't know, so then find your way in your life. That's the best way for you to honor yourself, because actually when these kids also, they are learning from their parents everything.
Yes, they see and they feel if it is a loving couple, if they're into each other, because they see the interactions.
It's an example. So if you are a frustrated woman that is just with your husband, I don't know, just for money, and you are very unsatisfied in sex, and you are complaining all day, so this is what you are
showing to your
kids. to them, like but we are a family, we live in the same house. Yes, but they don't know how to enjoy life. They don't know how it is to be romantic. They don't know about that sex can be enjoyable. So what we expect from them in the future?
I think we were talking about the loving couple as the other type of couple, and I think that maybe we're like entering to the subject of healing together. What is healing in a couple? What is happening in a couple that still has the loving connection, and they have to go through different steps, challenges through life. What do you think is healed through time, or in the big scene in a couple? What do you think is happening there? Because you're deciding to be with someone, and there's something more happening there. There's your stuff, but there's a common stuff happening as well.
Well, at the end, it's about self-love. Everything in our life is about love, and also to love ourselves. So sometimes we don't love ourselves, and we want our couple to love us fully. So we don't respect ourselves. We don't know how to put boundaries. We don't know very well. We compromise too much, but we want the other to be completely loving and devoted and accepted, when we are not doing it with ourselves. So still we are not giving it to the other either, right? So that space is a space of healing, because actually our couple will trigger us. We'll just put the finger where it hurts. With time, that's what happens. I mean, I love to be in a falling in love.
They're like a mirror then.
Yeah, I love to be in a falling in love period, because it's like 6 months of just, I project my ideal, relationship and lover and person into someone that I haven't seen yet. And I'm just like sort of making love to myself, sort of. So
exactly, right? That will be the way that you want to be loved.
Yeah, that you project everything, right? Like, he's just amazing, and he has no defects. It's just the perfect for me, or make me feel this way. until then it's like we are under drugs, like we are like in this bubble of projections and stuff, and then when time passes it's like we start to see the real person that is beside us with their own flaws, and then I'm showing mine because I can, you know, we show our best version
At the
at the
beginning.
beginning, and then you know we're gonna be us
Cannot hide.
high forever, right?
Yes.
So it's gonna come and a moment that I'm truly myself, and I'm gonna be you know, I'm gonna show my vulnerability, my insecurities, or whatever is going on with me that I need to heal. So I'm gonna show it to you. And then if it's a very conscious couple, the other will have compassion for you.
Mhm.
And then it will make a space for your healing. So a couple is not someone that's come to fix you. It's someone that holds your hand while you are fixing your stuff, but holds it. It's walking with you. So we have to make this difference. The other is not going to
You're
fix
talking
you.
like in a high level of consciousness and of love.
Yeah.
You just said compassion, so it's like this is a big moment, a big jump.
Yeah, yeah. Because for example, I said like, listen, I'm missing you because you are very busy at work right now, so you are not being as connected as with me as before. We are having this crisis moment, right? So whatever life, you know, comes and do stuff. So we go through it together, and then you can take the
Yeah,
two.
it gets in the middle, like here.
Yeah, so this is the life challenge, right? Life is happening to all of us. So then when that comes, your partner can have two ways of looking at this. So when what you are saying triggers them, so they also, your hurt go directly to their hurt, then we both enter in the fight mode.
Of course.
So that he will say like, you are always needy or whatever, and doesn't matter what I do, it's never enough. And then you feel like, oh, you know, like
You're
hurt,
into
and
the
the other
fight
one
mode.
is hurt. When my hurt doesn't activate the other person hurt,
Mhm.
it's perfect, because then if I said like, so what is happening to you? So you need more attention now. What's going on? I don't know if I can be there for you, but I'm listening. I will try hard. I will try during this period. So I cannot be there for you always. But if you are in this moment that you are sharing this, it's maybe because you need me. So I need to understand, you know, what's in your heart, what is going on, instead of saying like you are needy, because you know. So then it's like that's the
You get into
compassion,
the defensive mode, or you get into
the compassionate
the
way.
intimacy, because this is very
Yeah.
intimate. What you're saying is
Yeah.
like being there for your friend, because it's like it's your couple.
Yeah.
But at the end, what you're saying is like being very good friends to be able to speak in this level of intimacy.
Yeah, so for example, I need you to be, so typical stuff of women, right? I need you to be more romantic with me. And then the other is like, so we have been together 10 years, so they don't know how to be more romantic.
But let's talk about fantasies again. Let's go
Fantasies.
back to the fantasies.
Fantasies.
Let's go to sex. Let's go to sex again. We talked
Okay.
too much about love. Let's talk about sex.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about what we were saying about fantasies. I think it's interesting. Like, what do you think? When do you think people make the jump? Like, not to share the communication, but to make true certain sexual fantasies. I think this is like, whoa.
Well, we call it with my partners partner in crime. So when you actually sharing your fantasies or what you want to do is as much fun to you that the other person. Is like both have the same fantasy and we haven't done it yet. So then it's like when I ask you, do you wanna go Ibiza with me and just dance all night, and we haven't done it yet, and it's like, yay, this is like a great plan. So it's the same excitement
All right, should
and
be fun. then.
enthusiasm from both, because it's when your fantasy is as, I see it as cool as my own fantasy. So then we go together and they said like, let's make it happen, and like big in the best way, you know. So then we become partners in crime, so we become a team, and that makes the couple so strong in complicity and in confidence. So I'm trusting this partner so much
because
actually
jealousy could come up, right? So
it can, but you can say, then you put your boundaries, your limits, like, I'm so into this, but actually I think maybe, for example, I don't know, body wise, right? So I'm a woman of 41, right? So imagine that me and my partner, we both have a fantasy of having a sexual experience with a 28-year-old woman, right? So that she is like looking like a model. So then both have the same, we both share this fantasy, and it's really cool. But then I will face my own, if I have some complexes with my body, and this woman is going to be a model, so she's perfectly beautiful, I will face this with myself, like my own insecurities. So if I really, I am excited into it, because actually I would love to see this model naked. I have never seen it, and I'm excited about it. Like, wow, yeah, I would love to see how it's, like a beautiful body of a woman naked. But my insecurities is holding me back. So I will just talk about it. Like, listen, you know what? I would love to do this, but I think I might be triggered if I see you more excited or more devoted to that body, that mind in that situation. Because actually, my insecurity. So I will talk about me, not him, what he will do, because he's my partner. So he will just want to have fun with me. So I will talk about me. So I say like, look, my body, well, I think I'm 41, so I'm now 28. I had 2 children, so it's not the same. And I don't feel like maybe the 2 of us together, it's gonna look like a lot of difference. It's different when we are together, the 2 of us, because it's only me. I'm here, the only goddess, and that kind of stuff. So I had to express how this experience, it will challenge me. And then,
what if it goes wrong?
Well, but he has to reply, Yone. With my insecurity, we said like, come on, Rosie, it's what the reply that I have, like when I jump to it, it's like, you are my person. I will never connect with this person. She's gonna be probably more beautiful. Come on, let's be honest.
So you suggest this should be done in a real complicity with the partner that you have. It doesn't matter if it's a long relationship or it's just a sex buddy, but it has to be.
It has to be a plan together. It's like planning the holidays. Where we are gonna stay? Where do you wanna go? It's the same, and you have to talk it through.
You're planning holidays. Yay! Woo.
You have to talk it through, like actually with details. What does it, And then he said, okay, what would be? So he will ask me. My conscious partner will ask me, what would be the way I can make you feel secure, and that that you feel that I'm there for you too, that because we are a team, so we are us against the world, So he will never let me out, because we are a team. I will never let him out, because he is my team.
I think when you're talking about all this movement that can happen in a person, because you're talking about self-love. Yeah. And learning to be secure with yourself, and you're talking about integrity. There's so many things, and then you're talking about the couple, like both these 2 people come together and they share this. This is like a very evolved way of being with someone. It doesn't matter if it's an open relationship or not. I mean, this is just like the example of the fantasies, but in anything that we're talking about evolving with someone in a very profound level of communication, and in sharing, like in a very deep level of who you are with someone else.
Yeah.
This could be like the change of the world. If this would be the way couples would share love or whatever.
Yeah.
This is like healing the society.
It comes from intimacy and comes from sexuality in a marriage. It does, because then we're just friends. So what differentiates a man and a woman that are friends and a man and a woman that are together as partners? So they are having sex. So yes. So then if you heal the intimacy between them and the sexual sharing, then you're healing the family, then you're healing the society. It comes from there for me. So the way of, you know,
of lifting up the energy.
lifting up the energy. So for the energy to come from bottom to the heart, this has to allow, you know, the energy to come up. So yeah, sometimes of course we go from up to down as well, but if we are very rooted on earth and we are many of us, right, in our first chakra, in survival, in working, in doing, in paying, in paying bills and doing stuff because we need to maintain ourselves and stuff. Yeah, so that's here, so needs to heal, like the sexuality.
Yeah, if sex becomes an enjoyable and a fulfilling experience, then the energy is gonna come up, right?
Yeah.
And maybe you can connect to yourself in a higher frequency.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
So then Tantra uses the sexual energy, activates it and bring it up. So it doesn't enter into the animalistic.
Mm-hmm.
So the sexual energy. So when that's activated, you wanna, if you let it be as it is, then you just wanna have sex, and you can be even mechanical in doing it. So the Tantra gives some consciousness to it, so that energy also brings up and fulfill your heart. So then you can be integrity in your sharing, and you can care actually for the other's feelings, and you can see the other, you can see yourself, you can take care of yourself as well, saying like, honey, today I just can't have sex with you, and in a loving way, not in
And respecting yourself.
Yeah, respecting yourselves. And then you know, you can just bring this energy up also to your heart, your
Throat chakra, yes.
because then you talk
Mm-hmm.
with kindness, and you talk with compassion, and you talk from your heart. So then you're not in the defense mode, and you trust your partner, because there is no way that that anything is a foundation of a relationship. You have to trust
Totally.
the one you choose, even if you in a moment you don't feel you know them, but you say like, for a reason I trust this person to be my partner. So far, let's give it the benefit of the doubt.
Thank you so much for this interview. This has been amazing. I don't know if there's like anything else that you think we should like to close. What would be the last message that you would say? This is like the closing thing that we should say about our conversation of today.
So for me, the summary is like every sharing, whatever it is, it has to have intention.
Mm-hmm.
So it needs to have presence, love, and freedom. So when we combine these four, then we have our magical experience with everybody. And then you the foundations of every relationship is trust, and also your own self-love give you integrity to live your life in a way that when you are sharing yourself with everybody around you, and sharing love and sharing sex and sharing fun, you are not hurting anyone that is involved and anyone that is not there either. So that will be like the base of this chakra, because this chakra gives life, cares for life, nurtures
Everyone, not just your own kids.
No,
for everyone.
Take care of everything, nature, everything that it goes. So it's the feminine, in this sense, it's the water that, you know, bring life and make things grow. So this thing, when we embody it and we integrate it in our being, so give us like sort of calmness that wherever we are taking choices, it's gonna be, you know, the best for everyone, including me. Because when I love myself enough, then I live my life in a way that I'm not going to damage anyone with my sharing.
Thank you, Rose. Yeah, I hug you because you're so wonderful. This has been a beautiful, beautiful interview. Thank you. I hope everyone can like what we talked about today. It was amazing.
So much love for all of you. Bye.